Hey guys, it is me, Cirt here, and I wanted to do a bit of a tutorial today on some stuff relating to how I do my sort of like pulsing and stuff. It's basically a tutorial on like how to do the style of pulsing I do with my levels and stuff. Like for example, let me show this off here. Like that sort of pulsing and stuff that people ask me, and I want to show off a little tutorial on like how I do those kind of pulses. So what I'm going to start off with is this is basically pulsing. This is not colors. I'll probably do a tutorial on how I do colors as well. It's not, you don't have to follow it. Like I said, it's just a tutorial on like how some like people do their base coloring and like, pulses and stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with copying my colors and stuff. This is just a basic setup of what I do normally for whenever I need to quickly make a thing or quickly make a part in something, or if I'm making just a solo. If I put more time into it, I probably change up a couple of these things here, but this is just a basic setup. What you want to do is first is like, for me, I try to listen to, there's 3 different things I listen to whenever I'm making pulsing and stuff. One is the front beat, which is like the thing that like you go here that goes on in like the entire song. The synths in a song, they'll go on like in the background or something, and then like whatever else is like small sounds and stuff that I do for like smaller things like pulse, like glow pulsing and stuff like that. I picked a song that's like the predecessor of the first song that's in my level Boppin'. Is Back of the Bus by Fionn Hodgson. I'll leave a link to that in the description. They are a good artist. I suggest listening to some of their music. Alright, so we're going to do that first. What I'm going to do is, what you want to listen for is the basic beats that you hear, and try to find a spot to put these at. So like for right here, it would be like exactly right about there. We're gonna make this a background pulse. So, and what I'm gonna show here is something that like selective pulsing, and in my words I say that selective pulsing with how like it should work. And what it'll do is like, instead of doing like a hard pulse, is what I say, like something like this, like that. It'll do a much more softer pulse that kind of works better with flowing into different beats of the song. So like what I do is I do pulse overlapping, which is like it'll go into the next pulse while doing the same thing. So for example, if you're doing something with a lot of hues, like which what I do all the time, like this for example, it'll start off with the first pulse, and then it'll do the basic pulse, and then it'll switch into the next one like that. So for example, this is just for an example here, but like what I'd normally do is if I'm doing pulse overlapping, I would suggest making the colors a little bit, or like the brightness a little bit darker, so that way it doesn't like blind you. For example, if I like do this for like the next couple pulses, this is just basic examples. Is nothing you have to like completely fall over. What I want people to realize is the type of pulsing that I do here. This is what I like call selective pulsing, which is like you follow one part of the song here, and you go off of that with different types of pulses and stuff, like to mix colors and everything. Another way of doing like kind of selective pulsing is with the object color, which I can show off. What I normally do for my object colors is I'd usually follow what is with like color theory and stuff, which is like different types of things around the color wheel. I'll leave a link in the description for like basically a color wheel like sort of thing. But like with color wheels, or color theory sort of thing with like color wheels and stuff, basically is I go off of like different types of brightnesses and colors for different parts of a level, depending on the feeling. And for my object colors, I usually choose to use hard shades or hard light shades and use them as a hard exclusive pulse, which is like, and to kind of get a better idea of what I'm talking about, a hard pulse is like it flashes, but a soft pulse is when it fades in and then fades out quickly. These are soft pulses. These are hard pulses is what I call them, because these fade in like this, or fade in and fade out. So basically, like, this would be a hard pulse because it would like it would just like go to the beat of the music like that. For this example, yeah. This is a good way to like different types of pulsing that you can learn, because if you can mix in your pulses with your colors, it can really help you whenever you're like trying to make a level, especially if you're like focusing on like doing a lot of atmosphere. Like I use different types of like mixed colors and stuff. Like for example here, light background. This is really good if you need like really light pulses that are going through a really quick part, and then when the song is like, I guess you could say like going into a different part, if you set the color to black, it'll set it to player colors. Like this, for example, is my secondary player color, my first player color, which is like gray, for example, with my icon. Like that. So kind of like what I'd suggest doing is with your pulsing and stuff, I suggest trying to, depending on the song type and stuff, it really depends on where you want to like get good pulsing in, and also with how you want to mix your colors in as well. Because like for example here, I could let me make something like really quickly, just like a basic structure or something that I can just like whip up in a second. Alright, so essentially what I did here was basically make a basic like structure with some glow mixed in. It's nothing special, it's just for showing off purposes of tutorial purposes. But the idea you're supposed to get here is with the type of pulses you get and mixing colors and stuff with hues, it should work for the most part. It just depends on like, I know it's like nothing major you could see from this. It's kind of obvious. What did it look? Oh yeah. Another thing, don't do what I did here is like set the pulses to the background as well, because it'll mess it up, and it only sets the pulses right there. So set that to 0 always, and it will always like, and how you mix your colors in, because if you set it to the background, it will not mix your glows in, like how you showed it didn't show any of the glows being mixed. And you can see like the bottom and the top, when it changed to this color specifically, it changes to purple and like the kind of teal color. So essentially the base thing here is like with pulsing and stuff, you want to work with two different types of pulsing here, which is your soft pulsing, which is like your soft pulsing is fade-ins with good transitions out, and it transitions into the next pulses, with your hard pulses being more based on the hard beats of the song. You can hear that like give that kind of thump kind of sound, I guess. I don't know. A better example is like the hard end drums. You could hear like they go every other beat, and the soft pulses going on pretty much all the beats. And that's just a small like kind of, I guess you could say, tips and sort of tricks kind of sort of thing. It's nothing like super major, but I want to show off of that with how I do my pulsing and stuff. So yeah, I hope this helps a person or two, but if it doesn't, then oh well, I tried. And I'll try to make more of these. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think, and I'll see you around.